Very good Saturday to you, brothers and sisters in Christ. This is your friend, Vocation Director, Father Adam McDonald, coming to you from the banks of the Mississippi River here in Clayton County, Iowa, specifically the town of Guttenberg. I asked the permission of my local superior and received it to take a little drive this afternoon to get out and breathe some fresh air and take a walk here along the river, of course observing the appropriate social distance. Haven't seen too many people out, even though it is about 60 degrees and, as you can see, beautifully sunny here on the banks of the river. So it hasn't been too much of a problem to observe that social distance. In any case, it has been a record-shattering 4 weeks and 1 day since I had moved my car at all. And interestingly enough, when I pushed the start button and put the car in reverse, it did not move. Somehow the gear of the transmission got stuck in place, I guess, over the last month. So I put the car in drive and had kind of a lurch to go forward. And yeah, the car was a little bit slow to get going, but once it got on the road, it seems to be doing fine. After driving an average of 100 miles per day as vocation director in my normal course of activities, it's been quite unusual to not have driven a single mile at all in the last month. So it's about 40 miles to get here today. It'll be another 40 miles to get home. So definitely want to give the car a good chance to run and keep it in good running condition, even though I'm not using it on a regular basis. But the good news is, in the past month, I have spent more time in prayer, I have spent more time catching up on rest, and I've been exercising. I have walked at least 40 to 45 minutes every day for the last month. If I calculate correctly, that's 20 hours in the last month that I have spent out walking the seminary campus grounds to breathe some fresh air, to remember there's a big world out there, and to breathe deeply and pray the rosary. As you know, at our seminary, we've been offering extra holy hours every night of the week, especially on the weekdays, to pray for our brothers and sisters throughout the world who are, unlike us, unable to gather physically to celebrate the Eucharist, and who are experiencing the COVID-19 sickness, those who've died from the pandemic, those who are caring for the sick, and those whose lives are being impacted so severely by the economic downturn. So know that those prayers continue. So just wanted to give a quick shout out to everybody and reflect on today's gospel as we continue celebrating the Octave of Easter, this wonderful Easter day of the new life of Christ. The disciples and those who saw the risen Jesus had such a hard time believing that it really was him. And it occurs to me that maybe in this time of pandemic, we too are having a hard time believing and recognizing and seeing Jesus in our midst, that he is truly risen from the dead. It's tough to see that in the midst of all the sickness, the death, and the uncertainty around us. But I invite you, I challenge you, I encourage you to spend some time reflecting today on what new life you have experienced in these last days, in this past week of Easter. In what new way has God revealed himself to you? Perhaps through the call or text of a friend, through an act of generosity or kindness of someone around you. Perhaps through you recognizing Christ in someone that you had taken for granted and perhaps now have a newfound appreciation for because you've been spending more time together. Perhaps it's in the new life that's starting to bud around us in nature, as I see some trees beginning to bud and some flowers begin to blossom. There are so many ways in which new life is occurring within us and around us. So I invite you again to join me in taking some time today to identify what that new life has looked like for you in this past week. So that's it for now. I encourage you, if you have a chance, to get out and observing safe social distancing practices, enjoy some of this beautiful weather. Send you some greetings here from the banks of the Mississippi River. Be well, stay safe. We know that we're in this together. And as we prepare to celebrate Divine Mercy Sunday tomorrow, we say and pray together, Jesus, I trust in you. God bless.